विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति स्वरूप दामोदर स्वामी निति नामिने नमः सद्भक्तमनाय मणिपुर उद्भावय च प्रभुपाद सद्वाणी प्रचार निरताय ते नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता 10th chapter shloka number 12 to till the end of this 10th chapter. Let us recite some shloka. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham saswatam divyam आदिदेवम अजम विभुम आहुस्त्वाम ऋषय सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा आसितो देवल व्यासः स्वयं चैव प्रविशि मे सर्वम् एतद् मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिम् विदुर्देवान दानवाः स्वयं एवात्मनात्मनं वेत्थत्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूत भावन भूतेषु देव देव जगत्पते वक्तुम् अर्हसि अशेषेण दिव्या हि आत्मा विभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि कथं विद्याम् अहं योगिंस् त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्तयसि भगवान् मया विस्तरेणात्मनो योगम् विभूतिं च जनार्दन धियः कथयो तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे अमृतम् So, what will be the topics? Arjuna, reverence for Krishna after hearing Bhagavad Gita so far. Arjuna could understand who Krishna is. So he explains that whatever he heard from Krishna, everything is true. He accepts everything as the golden truth. Arjuna's request for divine knowledge from sloka number 16 to 18. Krishna's revelation of his opulences from sloka number 19 to 23. Philosophical and spiritual implications are explained from sloka number 23. Divine representation in various verses from 24 to 27. The opulences of Lord Krishna. And symbols of divinity in verses from 28 to 30. Divine entities in verses 31 to 33. Ultimate divinity in verses number 34 till 42. The opulences of the absolute truth. So divine manifestations of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he is omnipresent, means he is present everywhere. So the Bibhuti Yoga explains how Lord manifests in everything. And whatever best you see, whatever best of any opulence you see, is the representation of Krishna. So Krishna represents all of the best thing in any of the opulence. What is the path of spirituality? Explained in this chapter that there are various approaches of self-realization. So knowing Supreme Personality of Godhead and his opulences. So in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, what you have heard last class? Aham sarvasya prabhava matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante man buddha bhava samannita. Everything is source from Krishna. So Krishna is the source of everything. If you know this, if you realize this, then what will happen? You will be serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhajante man. Buddha, those who are knower of this truth. Hari sambandha sarva vastu. Now, every subjects or objects, whatever you see, when you understand that in relation with Krishna, that is the Bibhuti of Krishna, then you will be able to relate all the subject to Krishna and you will understand everything is source from Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. Then you will be able to utilize for the service of Krishna. Jagyarthat karma. Those opulences can be utilized for the service of Krishna through the activities. Jagya. Jagya means for the pleasure of Vishnu. All the activities for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why those who knows, they can serve Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is important to understand the relationship of everything with Supreme Personality of Godhead. How everything is sourced from Krishna. You can see Karnataka Kasai Vishnu, from him everything is all unlimited universes. These golden balls are universes. And one golden ball enlarged here is one universe. Like everything is sourced from Krishna. So path to spirituality is, there are two things explained. Lokesmina divdha nishtha. Pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yogina. Those who are intellectual, they study the science of Krishna through analytical knowledge, through mathematical analysis or scientific analysis. Sankhya means calculation, through calculation, through mathematics or statistics or science, when you try to understand the source of everything is Krishna. That way, that is the path called Sankhya Yoga. And what is the other path? To practice of devotional service, Karma Yoga. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Yoga means when your karma is dedicated for the service of God. Yoga means you are attaching, adding. When you are adding your karma as a dedication to Lord, that is called Karma Yoga. And understanding the nature of reality through Bhagavad Gita is very important, so that we understand how our consciousness is required to know the Supreme Consciousness and act in a relationship with Supreme Consciousness, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Infinite expressed in finite. Supreme Personality of Godhead is infinite. So there is portion of his, little portion of his energy finitely explained. Whatever opulences you see in this world, that this is the best, right? Somebody is best in some area. So the best in everything is representing to Krishna. So that in detail we'll understand from this chapter. Significance of divine manifestation. We understand that the presence of divine who is omnipresent in our everyday life, we also have interaction with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll understand how Supreme Personality of Godhead has the divine role in our day-to-day activities. Once we recognize the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead and the control, mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead in our every activities, then we'll develop the understanding and the recognition of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will be having gratitude, love, and devotion towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. Finally, we will be understanding that He is the Supreme Consciousness. He is the Supreme Awareness. We are aware about certain things, our own body little bit, not about others. Some little things we can know about others. That also we are not sure that how much correct we are about others. Even we ourselves do not know everything incorrect. Not even 20% we know ourselves. 10% also not. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead is the knower of everything. So, to understand Supreme Consciousness and acting as per His guidance is the primary objective of human form of life, to get the ultimate meaning and purpose of life. So, like this process gives us self-realization and understand the nature of God, and ultimately cultivating the deeper spiritual connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is called devotion. So Arjuna recognized Krishna after hearing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita from Sri Krishna directly. So he recognized that you are absolute Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are the Paramadhama, you are the abode where everybody should enter, and you are the most pure, Pavitram, Bhavan. So he glorifies Supreme Personality of Godhead after hearing that He is the ultimate spiritual truth, and we have eternal relationship with this absolute truth. So in divine devotion, with reverence, he is recognizing all that told by Krishna is truth. So that is the turning point of Arjuna when he embraces the teaching and guidances of Lord Krishna. After hearing till Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, now he is recognizing and accepting the teachings and guidance of Krishna. So what is the most crucial point in the path of receiving teachings from Krishna? Is that the divine knowledge, Sankhya Yoga, the scientific understanding, Karma Yoga, Raj Vidya Yoga. So this divine knowledge and the relationship with God scientifically explained by Krishna to Arjuna. So Arjuna is recognizing that and being thankful to Krishna for all these teachings and guidance he has given to Arjuna out of his causeless mercy. So Arjuna accepting the teachings, that embracing spiritual wisdom, understanding the deeper truth, and the significant transformation in executing his duties and responsibility. So he was puzzled about his duties and responsibility. After hearing the teachings from Lord Krishna, he is now able to see the life as a whole. We sometimes see little portions of our life and worried about that. We do not see the integration point of the life, that everything that impact us. So all that holistic application of our life is very important, which is realized by Arjuna when he heard the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, he was having some compassion in him, which is not at the right place. His compassion was not at the right place. And because of that, he was going to do a bigger mistake of giving up his own duty and choosing something which is unworthy to do. Right? So seeing the life as a whole is very important. So when we take some decision, so if you just think about one aspect and ignoring all other aspects that affect the wholesome of the outcome, then definitely we will be not achieving what we are desiring for. In some point of time, we are only focusing on one thing and forgetting some other important and urgent thing. Right? So you have to cover, you have to make some certain plan so that what is important, what is urgent, what is important, not urgent, what is or not urgent but important, and what is both urgent and important, what is not urgent, not important. Then you have to take the right choice of actions that decide your future. After your birth, there is choices you have. You have to always choose what to do. That decide what will happen to you after the death. So between birth and death, there are B, C, D, right? So in between B, D, there is C. C is the choice of actions. To decide the choice of actions, you need teachings of Bhagavad Gita and guidance of Lord Krishna through Bhagavad Gita. So this way, Arjuna could shift his approach and acknowledge in sloka number 15 that the intervention of divine power, the omnipotency of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which enliven his faith on the word and actions of Lord Krishna. That's why he got the motivation. He was at the lowest level of motivation, and now he's at the highest level of motivation. Right? So the best motivational speaker is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who could motivate the host. He is about to give up everything, go to the forest. Now he is ready to fight. Right? the best motivational teacher. And same time, with the execution of humility. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, the knowledge which is acquired, if it's not reflected through humility. What is humility? It is the opposite of arrogance. When we get some knowledge, when we get some opulence, then we also get arrogant about that. See, because of our comparative living, we always compare with others. Brothers compare with brothers, sister compare with sisters. Your father compares with his colleagues or neighbors, like that. So based on the comparative life, we sometimes see what we have. If others are not having, then we become happy. Right? So illusory thoughts are there. Sometimes our understanding is arrogant, affected by the arrogance mode. Even though we have the knowledge, arrogance destroyed the application of knowledge. Knowledge is there, but not coming at the time of need. They are not able to exercise or apply the knowledge. Right? But when we sit in Bhagavad Gita class, that knowledge comes to your mind. In real life, when you have to apply this knowledge, it is becoming difficult. Why? Because lack of practice and lack of giving higher importance, not being freed from arrogance. Vidya executed with Vinaya. When Vinayata is there, how Vinayata will come? With the training of first class devotee. When you work with a first class devotee, you take the guidance and teaching from first class devotee, then the Vinayata will be developed. Without serving great devotee, one cannot develop the humility in him. So humility is very important, which Arjuna developed in him. That was the understanding level which Arjuna developed. Now he is interested to know about the various opulences of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Sloka 16, he is asking, what are your various opulences? Please explain to me. And how various divine manifestations of Krishna is happening. And what are the various spiritual connections of his various manifestations? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, who is residing in Goloka Vrindavan, is the source of every opulences will be covered in the following slokas. Inquiry into how to remember and think of Krishna at all time. The crucial point is that we have forgotten Krishna. That is the reason we are suffering in these material conditions. Why we are suffering? Krishna boli sei jiva anadi bahirmukha. Atayava maya tar deha sansarera dukha. All these material miseries are occurring because of forgetting Krishna. If forgetting Krishna is the root cause, then what will be the resolution? To remember him. Right? So remembering Krishna is very important. So Arjuna is inquiring that by hearing again and again, I am never getting satisfied. Please make me hear more and more about your divine opulences, so that I will be able to remember you in everything. The part of Bibhuti Yoga, most important part of Bibhuti Yoga is that we have to remember Krishna in everything. Chaudhya dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra hai tara ishtadeva smriti. When you see some person, whether Brahmana, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gabhyastini, Soni Chaiva, Sopake, Pandita Samodarsi. Whether he sees a Brahmana or a chandler, a dog or a lion or elephant or trees, everywhere he see the presence of Super Soul. Similarly, every opulences, we will be discussing that. By seeing every opulences, we can understand that these opulences is the manifestation of Krishna. That way, through this knowledge of Bibhuti Yoga, you will be able to remember Krishna at every point of time. And that way of remembrance is the remedy for all these material miseries, right? But we are always trying to solve material problem, is not it? We try some remedies that is available immediately to us and through our material plans or thoughts. We apply some remedy, but that again causes few more sub problems. Then those problems we try to solve, again that creates so many other problems. Bahusakha hi anantasya buddhaya abhivisayana. Those who are not resolute in Krishna consciousness, they are not applying any spiritual solution. So what happens in return? Your material solutions again create further problems. So many problems based in the problems of life. You have no time to think about Krishna or Bibhuti, irresolute consciousness. So it is important that we identify the divine opulences of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna is eager to hear again and again with devotion at the thirst of knowing about Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is very important. When we develop the thirst to listen the opulences about Krishna, the holy pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nam, Rupa, Guna, Nida, or we do some services, the devotional exchange of devotees. So by the process of developing thirst to hear about Supreme Personality of Godhead, just like young girls and young boys, they want to hear about the affairs between young boys and young girls because of their attachment. When one develop similar attachment for Krishna, then they will be always like to hear about Krishna. So it is the level of attachment we need to develop. By hearing Bhagavad Gita, we know Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is all powerful. He has all these opulences, but attachment is not developed. So only when you come to Bhagavad Gita, you have some attachment to hear about him. Even that also it is difficult to sit longer time. If it increases little more than 45 minutes, you feel tiresome. But that when attachment develops, even after 4 hours also you not feel that tiresome. So the attachment will develop. How it will develop? By hearing, by association with devotees, by hearing from the mouth of the devotees and together serving in association with the devotees, that develops the attachment. Now, Arjuna is very eager. He wants to increase his thirst for hearing again and again the divine opulences and pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the most sublime process of spiritual journey. What is that? Hearing. Hearing is the most sublime. It always starts with hearing. Without hearing, no spiritual journey. So that's why in other word, Krishna consciousness is called as Shruti Patha. The path of spiritual life is through hearing. Without hearing, we cannot start even at all. So anyway, Arjuna was the best example who followed the path of Shruti. The other is Parikshit Maharaj, who got perfection in the path of Shruti. So hearing is very important. We must develop deep attachment to hear about Supreme Personality of Godhead, His divine guna, His divine lila, His divine pastimes and character, most sublime character, that melt down our heart. If the heart is like stone due to various sinful life offenses, then it will not develop attachment to hear Krishna Katha. But the association of devotees, when you hear Krishna Katha among the devotees, that hardness of the heart gone. When you submissively, without any offensive attitude, listens to these narrations from the devotees, then automatically the heart will be melt down. It will be always looking for more and more hearing the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the state of Arjuna? So Krishna, after hearing the request from Arjuna to listen the divine opulences of Krishna, then Lord Krishna assured that definitely he will be explaining all these absolute knowledge. By knowing this nature, one will be absolutely freed from the material affinities and can engage in divine activities. There are various cosmic perspectives how Supreme Personality of Godhead maintain this universe and how various forces of the nature interplay with each other will be explained in the further shlokas. So the nature of divinity and supreme consciousness. There are two kinds of consciousness, individual consciousness and supreme consciousness. Consciousness by which we are able to know about ourselves. But as the three main symptoms of consciousness, we are able to will, feel, and think. Will means desire. You are able to desire certain things. You like certain things to do. You want to certain thing in your life, right? Similarly, feeling, when you do certain activities or you associate with some people, you get some feeling, right? Similarly, you're thinking. So willing, feeling, and thinking are the deeper subjects which reflected through consciousness. And this consciousness, when applied to all unlimited universes, not only this universe, all unlimited universes, not only material universes, all the Vaikuntha planet, Golok planet, all the entire spiritual world as well as material world, all together, who is aware about all this in absolute is called supreme consciousness. He is supreme personality of Godhead. So exploring the divinity, understanding the supreme consciousness, and the reality of spiritual reality be explored through a meaning and purpose of human form of life. After understanding this, the relationship between material world, various opulences of Lord Krishna, one must understand the purpose of that. Why every opulences is being created, maintained, and facilitated to us. What is the purpose behind that? Why Lord has arranged all of your breathing, your water requirement, your sunlight requirement, all are facilitated, right? What is the purpose? Your food. Even elephant gets its food. Though we have to stock for our future. They don't do, yet they get their food. Right? So if we do not understand the reality and purpose behind the reality, then we cannot achieve the ultimate purpose. The role of devotion and faith in spiritual practice. After all, this simply the process of getting knowledge about Supreme Personality of Godhead. If do not develop any devotion toward Him, if our faith is not consolidated with a complete dependency, what is dependency? Without doubt, without fear, without hesitation. What is the difference between doubt and hesitation? Doubt means you are not fully sure that this thing will happen or not. That is doubt. Hesitation, Even after knowing this, you are hesitant to execute that. That is hesitations. You know that, but still you are, because your knowledge is not that scientifically founded. It's not absolute knowledge. If you have sublime knowledge, what is that? Shraddha Sabda Kahena Vishwasa Sudruna Nishya, Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Pita. If I do first class devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, then everything will be executed. When this level of faith is strongly founded, Sudrudha, Druda means strong, Sudrudha means very strong, completely strong. It cannot be shaken. Nishchaya, Nishchaya means determined to follow. Nishchaya means determination. So determination with a very strong, unshakable faith. So when you have that level of faith, then without hesitation, without doubt, and without fear, you depend on Krishna. So that level of applications of faith and devotion can give you the enlightenment into the devotional opulences of Supreme Personality of God. So the guidance, the inquiry, the role of devotions we explained. Let us enter into the opulences of Supreme Personality of God. So Krishna is the super soul and he is present everywhere. Where can you find Krishna? Everywhere means he is within this roof, he is within this cloth, within this bottle. Okay. How many super souls are living within this bottle? Many super souls. How many souls are living? In your body, how many souls are living? Unlimited. But you are one person. So how many souls are living? How many souls are you conscious of? You are conscious of about yourself. You are the single soul who is living within this body, being conscious of this body. But there are unlimited viruses, bacteria. They are all individual soul. But where Supreme Soul present? Brahma Samhita says, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. He is present within the atom, within the molecule. Molecule, what is molecule? Molecule is the smallest portion which is having the quality of that substance. Suppose water. You break down. The smallest portion of water is still water. But if you further break down, it becomes H2 and O. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Then hydrogen oxygen is atom. So where is the presence of super soul? Super soul is present in H2O molecule together. In H, both of the H are atom. O is also atom. There also Supreme Person of Godhead. So what is this fundamental particle which is called super soul? Like electron you cannot see. Like fundamental particle, other further fundamental quarks, boson, you cannot see. So quantum particle, like this quantum particle you cannot see, but based on the quantum physics, we are doing so many scientific discoveries, advancements, instruments are getting developed, right? So we know quantum exists, but we cannot see through any kind of instruments. Most powerful microscope also will not enable us to see, but it is existing. Similarly, super soul is existing everywhere. Even in water molecule, even in hydrogen and oxygen atom. Every atom, every molecule. How? Just like sun is illuminating entire universe, Supreme Personality of Godhead sitting within the heart or the core of the living entity, illuminate entire living entity with consciousness. So interconnectedness of super soul with various life form and various spiritual entity, which should be realized through the practice of knowledge, devotion, compassion. Through the process of devotion, we can understand the omnipresence of Krishna, but not through the material eyes. With our scientific instrumentation, empirical evidences or empirical analysis, it's not possible to make us visualize the existence of super soul. However, when we study through Sankhya philosophy and in practice with Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, then we can see. So what are the things required to see Supreme Soul? How we can know that Krishna is omnipresent? In this slide, you see and answer. You need devotion. You need to know about Supreme Personality of Godhead with devotion. Then only you will be able to see that Krishna is present everywhere. So what are the various opulences? Among Adityas, he is Vishnu. Among luminaries, he is Sun. Among the sages, he is Vyasadeva, who wrote all the Puranas. Among Marutas, he is Marichi. Among stars, he is Moon. Among Veda, Samaveda is the topmost Veda. Among demigods, Indra. Among senses, he is the sixth sense, mind. Among living forces, he is the consciousness. So what is the difference between consciousness among living forces? So you sometimes say that he is in coma, right? He is living, but his consciousness is not active, right? So consciousness of plant and consciousness of human being. So what are the level of consciousness? Covered consciousness in plant. Covered, shrunken, budding, developed, fully developed. Developed is called present, and fully developed is called fully present, like lotus flower. Covered, completely covered. Shrunken, little bit. Budding, like bud. Blossomed, like little open. Fully present. So these are the level of consciousness. And Supreme Personality of Godhead represents consciousness. And among Rudras, he is Shiva. Among Yakshas, Rakshasas, he is Kubera. And among Vasus, he is Agni. Kubera. Here is Kubera. Very small, you will not able to see this. Kubera. So these are all the opulences in this material world, whatever you see in Vaikuntha planet, he has that specific form. There is Kubera in material world, but this planet is Vaikuntha planet. You can see Kubera here. The representation of Kubera is the topmost, who is having all the riches, is Kubera in Vaikuntha planet. This is Kubera. Okay. And among Vasus, he is Agni. Among mountains, he is Meru. Sumeru mountain. This mountain is Sumeru mountain. On Sumeri mountain, all these earthenly planets resides. Diggaz means various directions. So among priests, he is Brihaspati. Among the military leader, military head, called generals, is Kartikeya. Among water bodies, he is Sagar, ocean. Among great sages, he is Rugumani. Among vibrations, his transcendental sound vibration, Om. Among sacrifices, his chanting of holy name, Japa Jagya. Chanting of holy name is highest among sacrifice, especially in this age of Kali. You may do many other rituals or sacrifices. For that, the purification is required. The reciter of the mantra, who is reciting this mantra, he need to be very advanced, purified Brahman. Then this will give the result. But at this age of Kali, this is not that recommended. You may not get some result. That is more like ceremonies. So who can give you the result is the chanting of holy name. If you are doing any ceremony without chanting of holy name, you are not going to get anything. But if you are doing ceremonies and you are chanting holy name, you will get results. Right? But you are doing nothing but only chanting of the holy name, you are getting everything. So ceremonies are just ceremonial because that needs a sense of doing that we are doing. Suppose marriage is a ceremony and puja, we do some ceremony, some sacrifices. So that attract people. But ceremony without chanting of holy name will not give any result. Similarly, immovables, among immovables, Himalaya, the biggest mountain. Among heart of all living entities is super soul. Who is living in the heart of everybody? Super soul. Two people are living, at least in the heart of the living. Who are they? Soul and super soul. So Supreme Personality of Godhead is super soul. Among the time dimension, he is the beginning, he is the middle, and he is the end. So various states we get based on our situation in various time. When we think to do some activities, we first begin, then we are in some state in the middle and at the end. So all these three states represent a Supreme Personality of Godhead. All opulences. He is the limitless. There is no limit in any of the opulences. Like wealth, he is the absolute owner of every wealth. Dhan, energy or the power, he is the absolute owner of all the power. There are 6 primary opulences. What are they? Wealth, energy, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, and fame. 6th one is fame, khyati. Dhan, Shakti, Jas, Khyati, Gyan or Tyag. These are the 6 opulences. So Lord is absolute means complete whole. And not only that, if you take complete out of this complete, again the complete will return. Supreme Personality of Godhead performed his pastimes in Dwarka with all the 16,108 queen, with all 16,108 Krishna's form. All are equally opulent. There is no difference. Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Avasya. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in all opulences, limitless manifestations, Among manifestations, what is you are seeing? Manifestation, what you are able to see as manifestation, he is splendorous. Splendorous means which is best among the manifestations. So he will be always the best among all the manifestations. In this previous slide, you are able to understand. See, material opulences, and these are the Vaikuntha planet. All the opulences are represented by the specific form of Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vaikuntha. Then show that from another image. Is Kubera. So this is Vaikuntha planet. The topmost is Golak planet. The middle one you see is Vaikuntha planet. And this portion you see here, this is 3/4 portion. Vaikuntha, Goloka, all this. What happened? Green is not first. Excellent. So anyway, all the opulences you can see in the metal world are also having the absolute in Vaikuntha planet. And specific Vaikuntha forms are available in Vaikuntha planet. So the best among other opulences like among people is thunderbolt. You have seen that Indra, as there is the form of Indra in Vaikuntha also. Huh? Indra in metal world. He is the king of Swargaloka. Where is Swargaloka? Here. If you go to one individual metal world, so this is not showing, right? So Indra is here. In Vaikuntha, this person is the place for Indra, and this person is for Vayu. Agni is here. So all the forms are available in this spiritual absolute. Absolute in that opulence is in Vaikuntha planet. But Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, they are also in every universes. Right? So they represent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? Similarly, this we have covered. Similarly, cows. Among cow, who is topmost? Surabhi cow. Surabhi cow not only produce milks, if you ask something else also, like Kamadhenu, you ask something else, whatever you call Kamadhenu, cow will also give. All opulences you want, gold also, Surabhi cow can give. Among sages, Vyasadeva, among procreations, Gandharva, among serpents, Vasuki, among trees, banyan tree, among demigods, sages of demigods is Deva Rishi. Deva Rishi naam Narada. Among Gandharva, Chitraratha, among perfected being, who has perfected his human form of life. Among them, he is Kapila Muni, who gave Sankhya philosophy. Among horses, Uchai horse came from churning of milk ocean. Nowadays, Kumbh Mela is going on. So that is the nectar which came from churning of milk ocean fell in some places, 4 places. So that happens every 12 years. That is Kumbh Mela. This time it is Mahakumbh, which is 12 into 12, 140 years. So From that churning of milk ocean, who came? Which is Devahars? Airavata. Airavata is the elephant who is the carrier of Indra. Among men, monarch means the leader, king, single leader. Among Krishna, he is Vasudeva. Among Pandava, he is Arjuna. Among sages, he is Vyasa. Among great thinker, he is Usana. Among ancestors, he is Aryama. So when you offer the foodstuffs in Shraddha, you are offering. So Aryama is invoked while offering your Shraddha. Among death, he is Yamaraj. Among choices of actions, whatever choices of actions you do, that give you the karma. So now you have certain influences of material nature. So you are in thought of to do some specific activities. That is all because of the actions you have done in your current life or previous life. So that given you a karma. So that also represents Supreme Personality of Godhead. Among demons, he is Prahlad Maharaj. Among subduers means who take away everything. Like whatever amount of opulences, name, fame, prestiges you earn in this life will be taken away by the time gradually. And at the death, everything will be going away. So time is the subduer. He is representing Krishna. Among Shastradharani, holding of the weapons, the greatest of all weapons, are held by Lord Ramachandra. And among all the beasts, he is lion. Among birds, he is Garuda. So, by knowing these opulences, whenever we see these opulences, we can remember that Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulences are representing. So, we can think about that. So, by every activities, even while living in a family life in samsara, you can always remember Krishna in this process. So in science also, the scientific understanding is also representing to Krishna. This is very interesting that Vijnana, the logicians or scientific analysis and scientists and saint this ability to inquire the absolute truth through the intellectual or logical analysis or scientific understanding is also representing to Krishna. Bhaktivedanta Institute is a specialized institution founded by Srila Prabhupada. I am founding director, Jar Guru Maharaj Dr. T.D. Singh. Specifically, we work in this domain. Among letters, compound words and inexhaustible time, Supreme Personality of Godhead represent all the letters you can see. Am, im, like this. All the letters are here. That represent Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by which you are able to express your feeling to others. Kaya, Mana, Vakya. That is the three process of working. Kaya with the body you work. Mana, in mind you work. In dream also you are working. Something you are doing right in dream. So mind works. Mind at work. Similarly, Vakya. In speech you are also working. So like MC work or this news channels, what is their work? Speaking, right? So work can be performed by body, mind and word. So that represent to Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the letters represents. These letters have their own position in the Vaikuntha planet. So death representing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mrityu sarvasya haram chaham. And death is also the process of getting another birth. Without death, a new life cannot come. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu dhruva janma jatasya cha. Whoever has taken a birth will definitely die. Who has died will definitely take a birth. Unless he develop sincere devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead and free from all that attachment. Before giving him this body, he must be freed from all the attachment. He should be able to tolerate the urges of all kind of senses. Then he will be fit for liberation. Otherwise, he will have to take again another birth. So that continues. Repeated cycle of birth and death continues. So that represents Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then personifications of virtues among women. You see that women are most compassionate than men, is not it? They are very tolerant. They are actually more wise. Their decision-making capability can see. And they are mostly very caring. Women are more caring, right? So these are the qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can see the Mother Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga Mata. So Krishna's divine word to Arjuna that with Sam Veda, Gayatri Mantra, that represent to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Among month, Margasira month is the highest month. And among the beauty is the beauty of the renewal of flower bearing spring. Basant. Basant is that spring time. You see that the flower is most beautiful at that time. If you go towards, we recently visited that place, that is that Sri Rangapatna. And from there we visited another place, that Gopal, Himavad Gopal. So in the night of the morning 8 o'clock, the snows fall and do Abhishek of Gopal. It's a very natural place, lots of beauty surrounding there. So you can go there and see the beauty, especially in spring, March, April month you may go. So that represents the beauty of as opulence of Krishna. Krishna is the divine identity, morality, strength, righteousness, and the truth. So always victory will happen to truth. You may trick here and there, you may hide so many things, but ultimately truth will win. Because truth represents Krishna. Surprise to you, gambling is also Krishna. So not only positive energy, gambling is also representing the energy of Krishna. You see this person who created Mahabharata. So gambling is also energy of Krishna. What then you can ask why Krishna had this energy? Because there are people who have the karma to cheat others. They want to cheat others. Whatever you want to put your finger in the fire, father say, don't put your fire, it will burn your hand. You are not ready. Then what father has to do? Put your hand, burn it, then you will take out. Next time you will not put your finger. Right? Similarly, this negative energies, There are people who want to do that. That is their karma. That's why chanting is also energy of Krishna. Krishna. So what I was trying to explain you that time, that all these energies in material world, any specific things you can see, which is best, is representing Krishna. That also available in the Vaikuntha planet. In the other images I have seen, you all have seen it, right? So all the topmost thing, whatever you are seeing here, is also available in Vaikuntha planet as absolute. And there are how many universes? Unlimited. You see these golden balls, like in a bucket of water, if you put one handful of mustard seed, that will float, right? Similarly, in this Karana ocean, so many universes are floating. And in each universe, all these opulences are available. There are mountain Meru, there is Ganges, there are Himalayas, there are Vyasadev, there are Narad Muni, every universe. Right? And they all are based in that universe. The absolute whole is also present in Vaikuntha planet. Right? So when you see those opulences and remember or offer your prayer or thanks, by that opulences you are getting some benefit, right? You are living your life. So you remember Krishna and pray him. Express your gratitude. Not only when you get something very great, but also for your every breath. Can you take one single breath without the mercy of Lord? When you realize that and offer your gratitude, devotion, you being developed such gratitude, faith in Krishna, then offer your homages. What is your homages? Manmana bhava madbhakta majjaji mam namaskar. Think about Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understand the opulence. Know that Krishna's work behind everything. Krishna's mercy in every breath you are taking. Today you are able to hear. Sometimes you may not. You are able to see. You are able to eat. Right? So you have to be thankful for that. That expression of gratitude gradually develops in you through realizing the opulences of Krishna and how Krishna at work for your healthy living. That is devotion. He is the seed generating father, Bija Pradapita. So this way we can realize Supreme Personality of Godhead, appreciate Supreme Personality of Godhead, and being devoted to Him, we can remain happy in this life and enters into the spiritual ever after giving up this body. That is the science of Krishna consciousness and remembering. The essence of Bibhuti Yoga is that you remember Supreme Personality of Godhead, knowing His presence in every energy. Hare Krishna. Any questions?